Des, before we look ahead to the weekend, I think we should start with what was a really positive afternoon on Easter Monday, a 4-0 victory against Fleetwood Town, our biggest league victory of the campaign. How excited were you with that result and performance, particularly going into these last 5 games?
Yeah, I was happy because we were able to put that kind of performance on at home. I feel we kind of did that at Port Vale. We did it at Shrewsbury. We didn't get the goals that I thought we deserved from Shrewsbury. We should have taken the win and comfortably there, but we didn't convert our chances, and I spoke about that afterwards. But to be able to come back to the Kassam, put that type of performance on, and score the goals we did, hugely pleasing. It's another clean sheet. It's 3 important points at this stage of the season, and it sets up the the next one against Burton very well.
Let's talk about the performances, because 4 points in the last 2 games, 7 in the last 9, but there's a sense you can see performances starting to improve with each game, particularly when you're coming to these last 5 games of the season. How excited are you by that the team are starting to show progress?
We're starting to show a real clear understanding of what we want to do. It's taken some time, and we spoke about this all the way through. We spoke about arriving at this point of the season in a strong position, which we are. We spoke about arriving at this stage of the season with our players back, and we've now got players back, and not only that, match fit, and we've seen the importance of that as we move through. And then I think the bigger context of that, although the performance, especially over the last 3, have been kind of what we're looking for to build on now as well and start to show what we want to do and how we want to do it. We spoke about making sure we take results from the period of time leading into that, and I think it's the last 13 games we've actually taken 10 results from. There's a few draws in there, but it's important that we continue picking up points, and that'll be the same case going into not just this weekend but the remaining games. So overall, very happy with where we're at. We need to now make sure that we continue doing it, and that's going to be key.
When you're going into these last 5 games of a season, you've won titles before in previous jobs, you know what it takes to get it over the line. What is the most important thing as you're arriving to this period?
Just be clear on what you're doing, keep it as simple as you possibly can. There's a lot of detail that can be thrown and make it as complex as you want. It's very much about being clear, being simple, and then doing as well as you can. The players are really clear on what they need to do and what we need to do and how we want to do it. And then they've shown that they're more than capable of performing, and regardless of the team that we play, the position of the league, I think most of that goes out the window at this stage of the season, because teams are fighting for different things for different reasons, and we'll walk into that on Saturday, I'm sure, against a Burton team that will be fighting for points for different reasons than we will. And we must make sure that we're ready for that, and then we can start talking about the football, because if we don't address the first part, the second part very often doesn't follow.
Yeah, you've teed up the next question very nicely there. Looking ahead to Burton on Saturday, who, as you mentioned, are fighting for the bottom end of the table. We're looking to get into those playoff positions, but when teams are fighting for their lives at either end of the table, they make exciting games, don't they?
For you, yes, I'm sure. Look, I think we played them at home when they're in that transition period between managers last time. And that's not the case this time. They've had a manager that's been very settled in there, clearly sets the team up to play a certain way. They had a good game in the last. We've watched the last couple of games. You can clearly see what they're trying to do and the impact the manager's having. So we will pay respect to that. Of course, we will, the same way we do for every game. But it's making sure that we are clear on what we're doing. Despite the fact we're away again, we go there and we try and recognise their threats, address the areas we need to focus on for them, but more so make sure that we're clear on what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then it's about execution and making sure we do it as well as we can.
And there was a real energy at the Kassam on Monday after that 4-0 result, expecting another big away following this Saturday as well. Just how important is that unity and that energy going into this final part of the season?
It's so important at this time of the year. It's important all year, but more so probably now. And I think we see that at the Kassam. We've seen it in pretty much every away game. The following we take and the numbers we take and the support that they give the group, it's been fantastic. And that's why I said I'm so pleased we're able to come back and put that show on for them at home against Fleetwood on Easter Monday. We had a lot of people in the stands, obviously friends and families, both of the players and the staff, and obviously the fans themselves. But going away again, and then the 3 home games after, it's going to be so important that we're all in this together. We've shown on Monday, we've shown how much effect that the crowd can have, and I thought they were wonderful. It was probably the best atmosphere I've had and seen since I've been here. The fans got behind the players from moment one all the way through to the end, and I think there was times and again where we spoke about giving them something to cheer for and cheer about, and I felt we did that. And there was moments when there was a bit of a lull in the game, and they bounced back the other way and allowed us to, come back into the game. And I think when you stick together, you drive each other. You try and get where you want as a group.